Do you use kegs? How do you keep track of the inventory that's inside of them? We have found that breweries spend a tremendous amount of time and effort keeping their keg inventory records up to date and actually looking for them when they need that information. But it's not just automating keg inventory that's an issue. Keeping everyone in the brewery and sales pipeline up to date can also be difficult, and if it's not done right, issues will occur which basically cause a loss of sales, missing kegs, and long cooperage rates. KegMetrics helps breweries communicate their inventory with simple-to-use, cloud-based software that automates that communication. This helps you sell more beer while reducing your operations costs. This means you get fast ROI using KegMetrics. You'll get ROI from KegMetrics if you use a distributor, if you self-distribute, or if you mainly sell through your taproom. It really doesn't matter. Also, size doesn't matter. We scale our rates over the size of a brewery. So if you're really small, you pay less than if you're really large. Some killer features, how about one-button sell sheets? No longer do you have to go into your walk-in, count what you have in your inventory, and look around for the special color codes that are, the tape or whatever. All that's gone. You press one button and you have a sell sheet in your inbox that you can now distribute to whoever you sell your beer to. We keep your team in sync with automated emails that go out to your customers and everyone that has your kegs. And we help your distributors keep track of your kegs. Translation, you get your kegs back faster. Okay, so here's KegMetrics. So one of the things that's different about KegMetrics from other systems is, number one, is we are not an ERP. And if you don't know what an ERP is, an ERP thing is kind of like a holistic, turnkey, one solution. You brew a batch of beer and a little thing pops up saying, hey, you need to buy more hops. And here's how many more hops you need to buy. That would be a typical ERP system functionality. We're not trying to do that. All we are trying to do is solve the production problems that we've seen over and over and over again that result in poor inventory management and poor keg management and asset utilization. Because every one of those kegs, when they go through your cycle, if you can reduce the amount of time it takes for a keg to go from clean to clean in your days, I'm not kidding, you're going to be talking thousands of dollars. It's going to vary based upon your brewery size, but you're talking thousands of dollars of savings. That's thousands of dollars in your pocket. And so what we do is we put all your kegs, we put them in the system, and each keg gets its own web page. I'm going to show you what that looks like here. So if I click on all kegs, this is a small brewery, and we'll get into this screen here in a second. But if I click on all kegs, and each one of these is a keg, each row, I'm just going to click on one of these kegs and show you that in KegMetrics, I have an entire historical reporting of everything that's gone on with this keg since I started using KegMetrics, or as we like to say, since the beginning of time. Right? So here it is, all the batches, all the cycles, when it was cleaned, who had it, what batch was in it, in-service records, you name it. It's all here. It's all here. Now, I want to encourage you to actually go to this URL. Type in app.kegmetrics.com/kegs/2189C4D as in David, E as in Elliot. And you're going to get a totally different view. And the view you're going to get is what we call the digital keg color view. And nobody else can do this. Nobody else is doing this. And this is a keg color view, meaning if you sign up with us, we print out your labels, actually in triplicate, so you get 3 labels for every keg. And the labels are a QR label. And so anyone with a QR scanning application can go up to the keg and scan it and see what's in it. And also see when it was made and see the batch number, right? So actually all of that information is for you to decide what you want to expose publicly, but those are some good examples. And we call that the digital keg collar. And the digital keg collar also comes with a request reorder button. So that means your retail clients, customers, probably if you're running a distributor, customers you maybe don't even know, are now able to communicate directly to you saying, I would like to request more of this keg. All they do is they enter the email address and press request button. And then you get an email that says, this person at this email address who bought this keg with this beer in it would like to order more. And so now you can start a conversation with your endpoint customer. What does that mean? That means you're going to be able to sell more beer, and that's just one of the benefits that we have here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get back to this page right here. This is your current cycle sheet, right? We talked about the current cycle sheet, and this is it. You've got your serial numbers. KegMetrics ID is our kind of back-end number. You've got a size, you've got the batch, you've got the keg, you've got the current status, and all this stuff is updated as you enter information in the system. And so you might be thinking, like, how do I enter information in the system? And I'm going to get to that in a second. But before we jump off this page, I want to highlight something really quick. I'm going to go in and I'm going to do a search because these are all different statuses, right? We've got inventory, keg, and this is a really small brewery. It's 11 kegs, so it's really easy to see everything at a glance. And so you might be thinking, I got 1,000 kegs, or I got 500 kegs. I can't, make out that information. Well, you can do things like you can sort here right on this page just off of the bat like that, or you can actually come in and do searches. Current status, inventory. This is showing me everything that I have in my walk-in right now, and it's showing me my size, right? And so if I want to create a very quick sell sheet, I can just do that search that quickly, email CSV, and now in my email inbox is a CSV that looks exactly like this, that says, this is what I have in my inventory. And that sound was actually me getting the email. That's how fast it works. I could also, if I have like a template or whatever, I could just simply come in and do copy results. And now all this information is in my clipboard on my computer, and I can paste it in whatever I want to paste it into, like Excel or an email. Okay, so this is that screen, and you can have up to 3 search parameters, so you can cross-reference inventory with size, like you want to know, like, hey, show me everything that I have in inventory that is a 6-barrel. Well, I can come in and I can do that, and here's my 6-barrel stuff right here, inventory, 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 and they're all 6 barrels. Oh, cool, so no, I guess I can't sell you 5 of the 6-barrel kegs of my winter portal because I only have 2. But, maybe I have something else, I don't know. And so you can then go, okay, well, show me all of your super stout that is, how much of your super stout do you have in your inventory? And so I just come in and I'd select batch number, and I would select the batch that I care about. In this particular case, is super stout. There it is. Just like that. And just like that, I have all of the information I need. So you might be thinking, like, how do I enter this in? This has got to be a big pain in the butt. And in fact, no. It's not. We simplified everything. What you're looking at here, it looks simple, and the reason why it looks simple is because we took so much time to reduce all of the bloat, all of the complexities, and all of the confusion that typically happens with these other systems, these inventory, these ERP systems that just they're. Okay, so getting back into here, here's how you enter information into. We talked about the cycles, right? Everything is based around a cycle. So you've got clean, inventory, distribute, dirty and empty. That would be your receiving cycle. And so it's really simple. You just hook up your scan gun, and KegMetrics works with Bluetooth scan guns. It also, if you have an Android device, will work right off of your the camera on your phone, for example, if you have an Android device. And so let's just go ahead and demonstrate. So I'm going to enter some kegs as clean. There it is. There it is. There it is. So you can see I just entered 3 kegs as clean, and KegMetrics is telling me here's the liters. And by the way, I can change this into gallons. I was just doing a demo for some international customers. So all this information would also translate into gallons. And actually, why don't I go ahead and take this moment just to show you. I just come in here. Well, actually, before we leave this, I want to show you here. These things were just entered in clean, just like that. I don't have to go and reset everything. Same thing for inventory. I select my stout. I select my batch number for that stout, and then I just scan. And just like that, I've entered in 3 kegs into the system, and it's calculating my my volume in barrels that I've basically entered in. And it's that simple. These processes right here, we call this a parent process, parent phase. We call fill a child phase, and we call these things that are like the filled things, we call those attributes. And available inventory, that's a child phase, right? So you have multiple child phases within a parent phase. pretty straightforward and it's pretty simple. And this whole cycle is about 90% configurable. So you can call, like, for up to a 90% ratio, you can call it whatever you want. You can call clean, clean. You can call holding, holding. Like you can get rid of holding. I was doing a demo and I don't even know why that's there, honestly. But you can get rid of it. You can add it in. It's completely customizable. About 90% of the things are. And so it's a really easy way to get going in there. So now I'm going to take this second. I'm just going to show you how easy it is to come in here and change it from metric to gallons. And now, if I come in, I just scanned a bunch of kegs in as filled, so I'm going to go ahead and distribute them. All right, Bob Roberts has them. This is his invoice. And let's go ahead and distribute these kegs. There it is. We've got these 3 kegs that are distributed, and now it's back into gallons because I've now decided that I am in a gallons feature. And this kind of weirdness right here, it doesn't translate other places. It's just an artifact of having very accurate reporting, actually. And so then I can come in and I can look at, like, okay, what did I do? In less than a day, I can say, oh, these were the kegs and these were the things that I changed. And some of these other pieces are because I didn't from a previous demo earlier today. Just like that, I am able to enter information, I'm able to see information, I'm able to do searches, but that's not all. I can come over here into customers and I can see, like, hey, this customer right here, Bob Roberts, has 3 kegs, and the oldest keg he's had out is less than a day. And if I wanted to, I could turn on auto notification, which means Bob Roberts is actually going to get an email in 30 days when he has my kegs out still that says, hey, thank you for buying my beer. Thank you for buying our beer. We hope you really enjoyed it. We see that you have these kegs out still, and we'd love to collect any empties. And then he's also going to email 45 days and 60 days, 90 days. We never send emails closer than 14 days together. And in fact, you can turn this off if you don't want, like maybe Bob Roberts is super sensitive to email and like one email every 14 days is too much for him. And so we can turn it off and that's no problem. And you can come in here and you can say, all right, well, I'll just manually send it once every 21 days. And so you can do that. And the report is one email with a status that says, here's all of the kegs that you have. So you've bought 500 kegs. Let's say you're a distributor. You get a report that says, here's the 500 kegs you have. Here's what you bought when you got them. Here's how long they've been out for. Here's the size and the serial number and the KegMetrics ID. We know you've got these kegs. Can we please get them back? Now, I'm going to go ahead and jump into metrics, and then we'll bounce back to the slide deck here. I just want to highlight this one thing. Speaking of assets rates, there's this asset utilization rate. We call it average throughput here. You might call it Cooperage rate. But basically, this is the amount of time that it takes on average for a keg in your brewery to go from clean to clean. This number is really wacky, so don't try and use this as a baseline. 176 days is actually crazy long because it's an average number. And honestly, that number is going to vary from brewery to brewery in terms of what their baseline or optimal amount should be, because different breweries have different business strategies. Some breweries might be utilizing distribution across 5 different states, and so the kegs go out further and it takes longer for them to come back. Some breweries might be like, oh, I only sell in my tap room. And you know, how fast, if you have good customers, how fast can you go through kegs in your tap room? Well, you might have QuickBooks or some other systems telling you how much you're making, but if you're able to track this number right here, it'll tell you how fast you're burning through kegs, and that'll tell you what it means in terms of your asset utilization rate, and if you want to grow your business, how many more kegs you really need to buy. And if you multiply this times your keg mix ratio in terms of size, like maybe you're mixing 50 liters in 6 barrels, and you know, like, oh, I've got about 50-50, then you can basically figure out, like, all right, I need to buy 50% more of these kegs and 50% more of these kegs. So it's a really quick way for you to actually forecast business needs. Just this one little number, 176 days. That's it. That one number is everything for you. All right. Thanks a lot, everyone. Shoot us an email and we'll get you set up.